Let's talk a little bit now about SEO strategy. One of the first things that's really important to look at when you're looking at your website is to actually perform an SEO audit. This is a way to look actually at the search engine results that your website currently has. This may show some different things that may be occurring, such as configuration issues that you weren't aware that you hadn't set something up correctly. One of the worst ones is the fact that your website is not even being indexed by the search engines. There are also a number of recommendations for things on your website you can look at, so an audit will help to find these information. It also will help you analyze your website traffic and see which traffic is being brought to your site via search engine as opposed to other things like referrals or if you're doing paid. One of the most important things about SEO is the number of websites that link to you. These are called backlinks, so an SEO audit can look at that analysis. And finally, since again, the search engines are looking at the content on your website, an SEO audit can actually look at your content and make recommendations. One of the most important things in search engine optimization is the concept of a keyword. A keyword in this is how you rate back to what, again, the searcher's intent was. What did they type into the search query, say in Google, and do you have related keywords that match that searcher's intent? Again, this is really optimization. So you're looking at what your potential audience may be searching for, and then once you've kind of got some ideas there, the key is to start brainstorming keywords. And again, this is just a brainstorming effort. Once you've done that brainstorming effort, what comes out of it are what are called seed keywords. These are these initial keywords where you can then finally start your in-depth keyword research to determine many different keywords that you may want to look to optimize for there. There are many tools to help with this process. It's not all manual. Next thing is talking more about on-page edits. So these are the things that actually relate to the individual pages. And again, Google is providing results based on web pages on your website. So each web page has some common attributes that Google looks at to try to identify what the content of that page is. One is the website page title. The next are what are called headings. You may have heard of these as H1 or H2. Again, these are HTML tags that help to display different text in different sizes. There's also this concept of what's called a meta description. That's an individual short, brief description of what the page is. And because images don't necessarily have content but do relate to the content around them, there's a way to actually provide text tags, alternative tags for each image so that that image can be identified as what it may be about. Next, as part of your strategy is to look at the content. This is the actual text on your website. Again, search engines look at the text content. But they also are now becoming smarter and smarter. So they're actually looking about what the topics of your content is. Length does have a factor. Number of images, because again, people like to look at images. They are good for communicating different things. Readability, the actual how does your text read. People do just scan content sometimes. So is your content scannable? Do things stand out with headings and bullet points and things like that? And then within your website, the content can have internal linking, and that is something else that Google looks at to see what other things about your website that this could be either more or less important about. As I mentioned earlier, link building is another aspect of your SEO strategy. A link is basically when one website links to another site using a hyperlink. These are these underscore things we click on to go to a different website. Google actually uses links as a fundamental ranking factor because having a link displays what we can call a vote of confidence. This is one of the reasons why Google kind of came out as one of the best search engines, though it wasn't one of the first, was because of this concept of backlinking. There are many ways to get links. The simplest is just to ask people or websites to link back to your information. There's also the ability to maybe go into different types of website directories to add your website. But actually, this is deemed more of a natural process over time. If you produce good content, people will want to link to it when they discover it, and thus this should be much more of a natural process. As we mentioned before, again, another part of your SEO strategy needs to be looking at local SEO, of course, if you have a physical business or a physical place. This is really focused around this concept of your name, address, and phone numbers. There are a number of these citations that you can place around on different websites to show Google that, yes, you are a business and you have this address and phone number. But it's very, very important that all this data is very, very consistent. Also, part of a local SEO is your reviews. So Google looks at those to determine if you are servicing your clients well, and actually will use that as a ranking factor within the local SEO.